Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Evercade A to Z, a series of quick looks at the games for Blaze's Evercade retro gaming platform. Today's game is B52 from the Codemasters Collection 1 cartridge. This was a 1992 release originally for NES, developed and published by Codemasters and Camerica. It was programmed by Jonathan Menzies, who over the years has also worked on titles such as Micro Machines, Psycho Pinball and several Spider-Man and Call of Duty games. And like most of Codemasters and Camerica's NES releases, B52 was an unlicensed release, meaning that it wasn't officially approved by Nintendo and it came on a non-standard cartridge. The game is ported to Commodore 64 with the intention of releasing it in 1993, but Codemasters had already pulled out of the C64 market by that point, so programmer Nick Taylor went on to sell the Commodore 64 version himself with Codemasters' full approval. This game had a middling reception on its original release in both its NES and C64 incarnations, but I've come to really enjoy it. So, let's go play B52.
Okay, here we are with B52 from Codemasters. The really nice honey company depends almost exclusively on one black and yellow striped worker, the one and only B52. Gather nectar from the flowers, turn it into honey at the hive, and stop the ants from stealing your precious product. Okay, so this is a fairly straightforward and simple game. And when I first played it, it was one of those games that I was expecting to just sort of almost be a bit of a joke game. And I wasn't expecting to come back to it and play it a lot. But this is actually one of my favourite games on the Codemasters collection. It's a really fun, enjoyable and playable little game. Absolutely brilliant. So, let's take a look at how this goes. So, push start. And off we go. Get honey from the flowers and take it back to your hive. So, you have a choice of which way you can go in this. That affects which levels you go through. I'm going to go for the front way. I'm not sure if one is easier than the other. I would assume so. And then we're into the game. So, as B52, you can fly around, you can shoot, and you can sting. And certain things can only be killed by stinging them. And your aim in this game is to visit the flowers, retrieve the honey, and you'll see the little honey meter in the bottom right corner. The spoon will gradually fill up with honey as you visit the different flowers. I'm going to sting those ants. Oops. And you want to avoid the lawn sprinkler and not get hit by, by the butterflies. Not a good start. So then your aim after that is to take the honey back to your hive. And you'll see that the flowers we visited before are now closed up. So they will not open again until we've cleared out the rest of the flowers in the stage. Now thankfully we don't need to clear out all the flowers in the stage to beat this level. But it just means you will have to go a little bit further than normal if you lose a life as early as I did there. Right, so when your honey meter is flashing like that, that means you're full up and you can't carry anymore. So this is the point you want to head back. Watch out for any bad guys on the way and drop off your honey. And then if the jar's full, you finish the level. And you then repeat. So with each stage, you need just a little bit more honey to actually clear the level. And as you proceed through the levels, more mechanics will be introduced. So this level introduces special weapons. So if you see a flashing bug like that, you can pick them up, or you can shoot them rather, and pick up the special weapon that they drop. Which in this case is like a smart bomb. then there's also things like rapid fire. All manner of other useful things. A little drone that lets you take an extra hit. We want to get rid of that ant, because if the ants make it to your hive... Oh no! If the ants make it to your hive, they will steal some of the honey you've got in there. Right, a little bit better this time, if we please. Take your time, just be careful. So gamers of a certain age will doubtless recognise the core gameplay loop in this as somewhere between Defender and Choplifter. Oh, damn it. So you got the freedom of movement of both of those games. You've got the sort of going out and retrieving things of Choplifter. And you've got the kind of defence aspect of Defender. It's a really nice combination of gameplay elements. Oh dear. Really nice combination of gameplay elements that I really enjoy. And apparently I'm out of practice at. Game over. Stage 2. Not good. I can do much better than that. This is one of those games where it doesn't feel like it should be difficult. And it's not really that difficult. But if you stop concentrating at any point, then it will blast you for it. Alright, let's have another go. Hopefully perform a little bit more convincingly this time. Right. Sod the spider. Realistically, you don't want to spend too much time on combat in this, because to clear each stage, all you got to do is get the honey. So, if you can prioritise that without putting yourself in dangerous situations, so much the better. See there, just by doing that, I can clear that first stage in a matter of seconds, and with all my lives. So do that. I mean, obviously shoot stuff if it's in your way, or likely to be a threat, but other than that, just chill and stay safe. Whoops, boing. Okay. And you see the enemies respawn at set intervals as well. They always respawn in the same places though, so you can learn their positions and learn the places that you need to be careful of while you're proceeding through the level. Right, like I said, that ant there we want to deal with if at all possible. Oh god. I'm timing this poorly. Oh. He's gonna steal my honey. Ah, yeah, little shit. Oh no. Can we get in there and... Yeah. So you just go in there and chase him out and he'll leave. Right. The other nice thing about this game is its use of sound. So every single enemy has a distinctive sound cue. A couple of them are reused between enemies. But for the most part, those sound cues are unique to different types of enemies. So like, the spider here, for example, has got that sort of crackling sound that you can hear. Oh no! It's got that sort of crackling sound that you can hear there. As the bugs make that sort of noise. The enemy that drops the special weapons has its own distinct noise as well, so you know when it's coming. And you might notice you can hear those sound cues before the enemies appear on screen as well, so it gives you advance warning of what you're going to have to deal with. There's a few situations where you want to be a bit careful because the ants and the sort of grubs who are crawling up and down the plant stems make very similar noises. But for the most part, yeah, you can very much use the sound effects to let you know what's going on. It's a sort of audible radar almost. Which I think is a really effective bit of game design. Oh no! Oh, getting killed by the special weapon thing is always frustrating. Especially when you're carrying a full load of honey. Alright, come on. We can do this. And getting past those sprinklers is just a matter of timing. You've got to start moving just before they finish their sprinkle animation, basically. Alright, here we are. Last couple of flowers in the level. So once we've taken these, the rest of the flowers in the stage should open back up again. Uh-oh. Carefully. That's it. Watch out for the bouncy spider. Give me the special weapon. Three-way firing. That should make things a little bit easier. It's that last bloody droplet of water that makes it so difficult to get past this. There we go. Avoid the spider. Shoot the things. Watch out for the wormy thing. And delivery! And that's stage 2. Hopefully it should already be clear why I like this game so much, because it's just a really nicely implemented game. Like, I was not expecting a game of this quality from from Codemasters, frankly, because I mean, I grew up with a lot of Codemasters stuff on home computers, and while a lot of it was decent, you have to remember that a lot of it was also designed as budget price stuff, designed to be released for pocket money, and that didn't necessarily mean that the games were bad or anything like that, but I think it just meant the sort of expectations were a bit lower. Now, I would assume that the stuff that they released for the NES would have been more expensive. Alright, we've got a shield, so we are temporarily invincible. Yeah, so I would suspect that their stuff for NES was probably a little bit more expensive than their straight-to-cassette releases on Spectrum and Commodore 64 and that sort of thing. But even so, a lot of Codemasters stuff from this era today has the reputation of being kind of Eurojank. Particularly when it comes to things like their platformers and arcade adventures and that sort of thing. So things like the DC games are good, for example, but you have to be willing to be on board with certain aspects of their game design that are distinctly 80s Euro in their sensibilities. It's kind of hard to explain if you're not already familiar with the concept, but yeah, it's definitely a thing. Whereas this game feels like it's lacking a lot of the things that people typically refer to as Eurojank. It's a solid, well-implemented game. It's presented well. It moves smoothly. Oops. See, we had the drone there, so getting hit actually didn't cause me to die, but I lost my drone now. I do have these star shots, though, which are bigger and more powerful. So that should help a bit. Oh, I missed the drone. Yeah, well, the battery on my camera's getting a bit low. I'm just going to pause this a second and just plug that in, just so I don't lose you. Be right back. Alright, I am back. Hopefully that didn't interrupt things too much. Let's unpause and continue. Again, careful timing past the sprinkler. Watch out for the grasshoppers. They're the new mechanic on this level. I guess they're not really a mechanic, are they? They are just an enemy type. But they are very dangerous if you don't pay attention to them. Alright, fill up on honey. Let's head on back. Apparently my video has stopped because the battery was so low that it even while charging it wouldn't keep recording. So yes, I have disappeared off your screen now, but hopefully you can continue to enjoy the game without the sight of my face. And we're dead anyway. I guess that's as good a place as any to finish it then, because, yeah, apparently I should have charged my camera up. Anyway, that is B-52. That's a game I'm very fond of on the Codemasters collection. One worth checking out if you haven't already. Like I say, don't make the mistake I did of assuming that it's just going to be a throwaway, stupid little budget game or something like that. It's actually a really enjoyable arcade-style shoot-'em-up. With a bit of Defender, a bit of Choplifter, and a lot of fun. Alright, let's leave that there. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.